I realize you don't like me, Ragongar. But don't forget, we share in the common cause.
Someone is sharing in it, while someone else is cowering in the bushes. What goody-goody? Are you afraid of getting blood on your hands?
He just insulted Tristan's ability to do damage. I wouldn't do that. You never insult the white mage. Oh my god, man.
I'm there.
But we did rest up. Pretty happy about that. We do need to buff up before this fight, obviously.
My skills
So let's just do
are
some of the
absolute.
staples again.
Orana.
My wings fell off me finally. And again, remember I used the magic rod to extend the duration so it doubles the length of time. So that's now a day and 5-hour buff on me. I'm going to give her with this as well. These wings. The reason for that is that'll last her a half an hour. Solid upgrade for her. It's like a +3 immunity to difficult terrain. All kinds of crap she gets from that. I'm going to get strength on my character. You can put, well, I'll save the mirror image for later.
Together
She can
we
do
stand.
shield of face on herself.
Adayanan.
And on me as well, why not?
Adayanan.
Let's do a weapon of awe on your weapon too, kiddo. This spell might be broken. It might not be working as intended, so we have to keep an eye on this one. Because you don't see an icon here that shows that she's getting extra damage from it. But when it does damage, it's supposed to be sacred damage. So we should be able to see it on a hit.
I'm
So we have to keep an eye out.
Tio.
Shield spell. And while I could give him enlarged person, remember we have Jubilost here. His ability to use potions is surpassed by pretty much nobody on this team. And he can give you the potion, for instance, and you're suddenly awesome. So we do like bark skin and we do blurs. So here, have a blur spell. You too, kid. See that? And it lasts for the full duration of his caster level. I give them bark skin for him, not for her because she already has a kick-ass necklace. But he can give it to me. And now I have really good armor. And we have enlarged person in here somewhere. There we go. And we should have reduced person as well. Like so. And again, that's important because he can shrink himself down. Gives him a better chance to hit and more dexterity besides. We increase his strength. So that's a pretty awesome upgrade for him. Shield spell for yourself. And why not give one to her as well? This is something that normally we cannot do. But Jubilost has that ability. So again, amazing upgrade for her armor. Give himself some strength while he's at it. Or cat's strength, that's cat's race. Do the same for Reg. Get my dexterity up this way. Some heroism on Reg so he has a better chance to hit. I'll even give him a death ward. A death ward for me as well. Airwalk for himself. Freedom of movement for the tank because you don't want her to be paralyzed.
Right here, my friend.
He can pop off a blood spell. Shield of faith for himself.
Let's
She can
move.
get a shield spell on herself. And get blur on herself as well. I want to make sure to buff my weapon before I forget. Well, alright. I say we save that. And we charge into battle. Go kill us a ghost.
In due time. I'm positive I found something.
Strike as one.
Okay, for a second here, buddy. We see this is Willis Gunderson. We actually know this ghost. So while we're going to kick this guy's ass, we're not going to be doing anything other than chatting with him, I'm fairly certain. Proto.
Let's hear you cry.
There we go. Reg.
Fear me.
Liza. Nice. Notice how he's immune to sneak attack. So again, pay attention to stuff like that. And even the precision damage that you get from her precise strike, whatever the hell it's called. It's a team tactics feat. So he's not going to be as easy to down
I'll try to make
as
this
some of
swift.
the other characters. But again, with Jubilost on the party, if I just wanted to be a jackass and throw bombs on him, we'd kick his ass all day. Now, I don't think he's going to be a problem. Let's find out. Yeah, he whiffed down me. Or Eliza. She's got 33. This is a touch attack. So now pay attention to this. This is very important. Whenever someone plays this game, they're like, can I solo this character? And I say no. And I say, well, you can, but it's going to be extremely difficult. It's because of attacks like this that it's difficult. Okay? See how it's a touch attack? If your character does not have a good touch AC, which she does, and it's again all her monkey abilities and spells besides, you know, she's crushing it. 33 is not that high, but it's still pretty good. And with a touch swing of a plus 11, he needs a 22 or better to hit her, which doesn't happen on a 20-sided die roll. So only a nat 20 would hit her, basically, is what we're saying. That means 5% of the time she can still be hit, by the way, and that's your goal. If you keep it to 5% or lower, there's a way around that, then you're doing awesome. How do you make it lower? Well, remember, she can have things like blur on her, where there's a straight up 20% chance that they miss. So even if he hit a nat 20, he still could have missed, because if he would have rolled under the 20% or 20% or under, I should say, then he would have straight up missed her. Doesn't matter if he rolled a 20, if he rolled a 1, if he rolled a 19, a billion, he still would have missed because he rolled under the 20%. Better than this, Blur is a spell called Displacement. That's a 50%. So it's a half of a chance that they even hit you, even if they would have hit you. So then again, you see how you cut that 5% down quite a bit? You see what I'm saying? So that's my point. So again, a solid touch armor class will get you a long way. Spells go even longer.
Strike! This strike! My masterpiece!
Proto, 5-foot stutter step here.
Die!
She's just getting regular arrow damage. Now, Reg is right here up and in it. This is his Dragonkind spell, by the way. He gets a spell-like ability for going Draconic Bloodline / Dragon Disciple. I forget which gives it to him officially. I think both do, matter of fact. But if I take him high enough level, which I will, he'll actually have this multiple times a day, like twice a day. And instead of it being Dragonkind 1 Blue Dragon, it'll be Dragonkind 2 Blue Dragon. That's a much better upgrade. And again, when I finally get out to busting that out, we'll actually do that for the boss fight probably. He'll have fun with it. You will really, really like it. But let's, for the sake of argument here, buff up with some fire damage like so. 5-foot stagger step, bro. Can you get into it?
Go.
Yeah, you can. Wait, Mercy. The ghost voice is faint as if speaking from far away. Willis Gunderson, right? Do you remember me? Once you sought my help with the island on Candlemere. Oh yeah, this is the bastard that sent the guys to die to get his quote-unquote treasure from the island. Even though he didn't know there was treasure there, he just says, well, I mean, there's got to be treasure there, right? No, there wasn't treasure there. Willis Gunderson, the figure before you looks vague, distinct, as if it could dissipate into the air at any moment. Barbarian, is that you? Flee from this place before it's too late. This dungeon is a trap. A trap! How did you end up here? It's not my fault. It was a mistake. A huge, foolish mistake. I was wandering through the mountains, searching for something that would prove my worth, make others sit up and take notice. A little respect. People always used to talk that there were some ancient ruins in Tors of Lebanese, but all I found were pot shards and rubbles. So the next morning, I decided to head to Varnhold, and from there to Restov. He's actually the guy that's responsible for the problem in Varnhold, by the way. If you do the DLC, it actually comes all together. You kind of see what happens. But short version is he basically screwed up. Robbed the wrong crypt, basically. Willis Gunderson says, then something happened. I can't tell if it was a dream or it was as if someone had set a compass needle behind my eyes and was pointing me in another direction. So I went through the darkness and ended up at the outside of this damn tomb. Why do you still remain in this world? I tried to leave, but his voice becomes fainter. I fear to. I did all I could to be a decent man, but what if it was not enough? What if Pharasma decides to cast me down to be eaten by demons? No, I'm not ready yet. I need to think. To work up my courage, I need... His voice fades, becoming nothing more than a faint, indistinct whispering. What happened in the tomb? I just wanted to take a look, so I know it was foolish, but I saw this bracelet. Is what happened. Entirely of jade, an entire fortune worn on the wrist. I shouldn't have taken it, but I couldn't resist, so I snatched it and fled before some dead thing crawled from the tomb. I returned to Varnhold and gave the bracelet to Maker. I expected he'd pay me with a good sum of gold. Willis is silent for a moment, but before I could get my reward, it came for us. Ha! That's what you get for sticking your long nose and greedy fingers where they don't belong. This is probably the way I'm going to die too someday. Yeah, it probably is. Varnhold, where are its citizens? They left by their own free will, by the will of someone else to be precise. I was among them. I remember that voice ringing in my head, the voice like an emperor giving orders no one could disobey. So I did everything it demanded, and so did the others. That's how all of us ended up here. Mordecai, he's evil incarnate. He blamed us for stealing what was his, then tore our souls from our chests and imprisoned them. As for the bodies, you will find them in the next room, the dining hall. Willis' silhouette quavers. I can't bear to look upon them. Have you seen Mordecai? Tell me about him. A lich, a cyclops, their dead emperor. He's an ancient creature, perhaps the most ancient creature on all Galarian. He hates humans, dwarves, elves, the lesser races, the slaves, he calls them. Ooh, that's the wrong word to use with me. He can twist our minds and crush our wills into dust. I know, for I fell victim to his power. He boasts he'll conquer the world, but you know, I think the centuries have taken their toll, weakened him as he lay sleeping here in this tomb. I don't believe Mordecai is all-powerful. It may be possible to defeat him. Why wasn't your soul imprisoned? Willis is silent for so long you begin to wonder if he's going to answer at all. When he speaks again, his voice is fainter than before, as if ashamed. Mordecai decided I deserved a harsher punishment than the others. After all, I was the one who stole his bracelet, the one who drew his eye. But he didn't torture my body. Instead, he raked his fingers through my mind, plucking out memory after memory. He made me confess every bad thing I ever did, every shame, showed me how weak I was. After he was finished with me, he slit my throat with his finger, but I didn't die. He released my soul through the wound so that I might forever be amongst those who died as a result of my weakness. So here I remain. It's what I deserve for all the grief and suffering I caused in my life. Oh, here we go. Because we're good, we can do this one. Let's see here. You've suffered enough and paid the price for your mistakes. If before you can travel the river of souls you need forgiveness, I forgive you. Go in peace. You forgive me? But I did so much harm, yet there is still a hope for me beyond this world? Willis' eyes widen and you notice his form is fading, dissipating into the air. I hope the gods will be merciful to you as your grace was to me. My time has come. Thank you and farewell. Bye, buddy. Oh, and we got a buff for that shit. Oh, he healed us. Well, alright. Taking it. Necromancer staff. We'll talk about that in a moment. Fallen Warrior's flint. I think that's the second flint that we found, by the way. For those of you that don't know, the devs have gone out of their way to give multiple items on maps sometimes. Specific. Whoa, hey there. It's a fast-moving zombie. Oh, it's a specter. Oh, those things suck. Okay, we need to kill that. Let's do a little controlled fireball.
Don't hold back!
Okay, Spectre's almost dead. Eliza, what can you do to this Spectre? Ooh, here's an opportunity. Oh, that was cool. So what happened there? Made a will save. Cure critical wound spell was used, right? Notice the DC check. 23. Will of 9. With all its bonuses and such. And rolled high enough to pass it, so it reduced the damage. So, half damage of this. Positive damage. Again, straight through to the bastard. And then Dora makes attack opportunity against the Spectre. I don't know why that happened, but I did. And boom, hit him for another 19 damage and was enough to take him out. Solid. We even got information on the Spectre. Lawful evil undead curse, half elf. Nice dex, terrible strength. Good perception though. Hit points are okay. Touch armor, it's easy enough to hit. But look at all the immunities, man. Mind affecting, fear, compulsion, emotion, poison, disease, charm, daze, death, sleep, critical hits, damage from non-magical weapons, ability to score damage, drain, precision damage. Holy hell. As well as negative energy attacks. And can't be made prone, nauseated, fatigued, or sickened. Vulnerable to fire, holy, or divine damage though, so that's nice. Doesn't have an attack, but notice that it has a corporeal form. Airborne, I don't know what the hell that even means. Immune to trip. Keen senses, immunity, blah blah blah. Where else? Undead curse. This is how, again, I got undead on my character. Undead creature. Blind fight, skill, focus, improved initiative. Not too bad. But I think they do like drain or like wisdom damage or some such. That's why I wanted to make sure to take them out. So, that's that. Moving on to the next dude.
Out of my way!
Ah, my lord, take damage, you bastard. I wonder how she feels about taking out her undead kin. Pretty rude. I don't see the next one, do you? I don't want Tristan to get too far up and out and in there. Reg can move a little bit. There they go. They shamble good. Alright, time to charge it. Liza.
Do not hold back.
Pokey pokey.
We shall overcome.
And you saw that sneak attack damage, right? That's only the 1d6 plus 1. That was from that one trait we just gave her not too long ago. This 1d6 here, precision damage, is coming from, again, a teamwork feat. She stands next to any ally, pet, anyone that's on our side, and she'll get that extra 1d6 of damage. Precision damage. Proto.
Run them through.
Nice. Beautiful work, guys. Taking that. Oh, another scrappy scrap. We gotta have that cloak made by now, I'm betting. Nothing in here I want to grab. We'll grab it all when we leave. Kind of parcel through it there. But I don't think we need to hang around here anymore. I can see those guys. Thought we was done fighting, and that's why I said that you wanted to rest before you actually got up into that mess, because I knew that this hallway turns into an infested abomination of undead. It's not impossible, it's not horrible, and again, just having our buffs back on us has been damn near enough for us to take this crap out. These are not particularly nasty opponents, but again, another Spectre, another Spectre, another Spectre. We got 3 Spectres here. Ooh, minus levels. That's what that did. Did that to Proto, no less. Wow. A 5-foot stutter step. And this is where we're going to be a jackass and summon some skeletons, because they can drain them all they like. I don't even know if it works on them. But if we can stand behind the skeletons... Oh, they can drain. We can stand behind the skeletons while they're doing that shit. We can bomb them with other stuff. For instance... I have a fireball spell. I'm like, yay. Rotate my camera. I can't see shit. Sorry, guys. I can't see. I don't even know that I'm hitting him. See, there we go. Big old fools. Get some damage. Reg's turn. He's got more of the same, but notice he also has his damn controlled fireball, so I can cast it if I wanted to here and not hurt our team at all. But why would I want to do that when I can place it? The only thing that would be of concern is this Spectre, and again, the Spectre is clearly stuck on skeletons at this point. So I think we're okay. So I want to do this one. This just does more damage. There we go. A few Spectres still left to deal with. Christian's turn. He can do a fireball. And again, he can catch these guys, but then he's going to take out our skeletons in the process. But not all of them. Let's do it. Yeah, we still got some left behind. That's all that matters to me. Jubilost, on the other hand, is getting tired of Spectres causing us problems. Suck it, Spectre boy. Totally worth using 2 bombs to get rid of that one bastard. Liza's turn.
Attack!
Alright. Let's recenter our camera. Sort through the loot. Nothing. Okay. Go through this loot. Nothing. Okay.
I do what I must.
Alright.
Dispatch those fools!
Damn it. Even more specters. Good lord, we got a lot of specters here. Okay, so again, you see we have specters to deal with. But where are they on the totem pole? Way down low, past the skeletal champions. Those skeletal champions will charge shit. So here's my opportunity to either A, damage a bunch of dudes like so. That idea. Oh, specters took half damage, but I'll take that. That's a solid hit. And Tristan. What the hell? Let's summon this thing. We never did have fun summoning shit. Poof. Privilege. Finish
Here
that
you
guy off. Nice solid hit on him. Here comes our skeleton guys. Again, like I said, as long as there's pets out on the battlefield in front of us, the AI is usually pretty stupid about going after the guys. Usually. Could have sworn that they should have picked that doofus, but oh well. Eliza just took -2 levels. That's no cool. 5-foot stutter step your happy ass back here, kid. And let's summon doggos in front of you. Not amazing, but gives us some luck. Jubilost, you know what to do.
Will they ever learn?
No, they won't. Until you kill them all, Juby. Alright. Reg. We got this specter over here, zombie over there, and I think that's it. How about we just use some magic missile on this fool?
Go.
Will that work? Solid damage. Door's turn. I really don't have anything. I guess I could use the acid. I kind of want to save that for a bigger fight, though. Let's just do an acid cantrip on this fool. Tristan,
So it's come
shoot
to
the
this.
spectre. Proto, your happy ass right over here. Down that spectre. Oh, nope. But 8 damage is 8 damage. Now with everything on them, I think that it has no choice but to attack those guys. I hope that's true. But I really don't want Eliza to take more negative levels, because that straight up sucked. I think it's just her that's suffering from that, though. Let's damage it with some fire. There we go. Great axe.
I'm off.
Alright, now I think it's time to come over this way. This door is locked. I think that's the exit that takes us out of the dungeon. Okay? So remember, we still have to go back upstairs and tell the guys, hey, you're free. But we're not free yet because we haven't killed Mordecai. So, this next room, on the other hand, is trippy. See all the zombie lords just sitting there being all peaceful and shit? Everyone's just kind of kicking here and doing nothing. It's hard to find forgiveness for any creature that does not such horrific things, but I doubt forgiveness would mean anything to a monster like him. Yeah, probably not. Weird thing is going to be is they're going to jump us. See that? Just the weirdest mechanic of, hey, walk halfway into the room and then be surrounded by the undead. And again, it's a lot of them. So this is not an easy walkthrough. But I don't think we have any specters here. Just zombies, greater zombie lords, and zombie lords probably. And that's all we got. So we really are okay. We do need to be a little careful here, though. So Juby, can you move back a little? Juby lost. Really happy ass back there. Thank you.
A fine use of my talents.
Get a little sneak out, buddy. Gotta start making the path. Well, go ahead and attack my skeleton. I can give her a head's ass. Not me, though. Leave me alone. Tristan. Screw it. Here's some other skeletons for you guys to play with. This is why pets are so amazing for some fights. It can be complete garbage though if they're heavy hitting and they can do like cleave moves where they're just like slaughtering all your pets in one move. All you did was stall them for a round. But sometimes that's all you need. Dora, your turn. You buffed up. We got a zombie lord and a zombie lord. Let's do a 5-foot stutter step on this shit.
This will hurt.
Tried. Eliza's turn.
Strike as one.
Pokey pokey. Stabby stabby. Ooh, that didn't work over there. Looks like one of our doggos died. Reg's turn. Reg, what are we looking at here? I got a bunch of dudes down the line here. We have a Dragon's Breath. And remember, our skeletons are actually straight up immune to cold. So his Dragon's Breath, which normally I would do a lightning attack, I can do a cold attack through them. And it won't hurt those skeletons one damn bit. The question is where to actually hit them. Obviously I don't want to hit my own guy over here because he's actually doing work. So again, let's rotate that camera a little bit so we can kind of get a feel for where I'm catching his square. So it looks like I can't grab these guys over here, see that? Because it's going to hit him any way I slice it. Maybe I can get this last guy, but I don't want to risk it. So, if I'm not hitting them, yeah, maybe I can do it like that. So. Managed to tag all those dudes and didn't hit him one little bit. Reg, you are the man. Proto's turn. And your job is to take out stuff that's definitely up and in our face. Skeleton, protect. Like you be.
A clever ploy.
Steady damage, not amazing damage, but it's there. One dude's coming down the path. Again, the back ranks are holding fine. We got a doggo, we got skeletons, we got that damn fire elemental. Now that thing will disappear before too long. It won't last forever. But we got these things crowded up pretty nicely on the skeletons too, so I'm not too worried. Christian. Let's see. Chaotic creature. Are these things chaotic? Ooh, that's a good question. Neutral evil. Ah, you stink. All of them? Yeah, apparently. Well, we're not doing that then. Bless is still on the team, so we don't need anything like that. No. Oh, Valerie has that native levels on her. Let's actually see if we can't do this. Remove them. Oh, of course it takes a full damn round to cast it, so we can't move even the tiniest little bit. You pansy.
You should have run! There's something here.
Gonna set him up for a kick-ass dragon's breath that catches all these dudes with some cold. Matter of fact, probably down here would be better. Big hawk and V-shape there. Eliza, why don't you hit this bastard with some fire? That was nice damage. Oh, you get a piece of me. What the hell? Reg, give me a solid and kill this fool. Matter of fact, why don't you drain his life force a little bit? There you go, you got a little extra HP, buddy. Proto's turn.
Run them through.
You lost. Let's actually throw a bomb here.
Primitives.
That's right. Come up nice and tight. Look at this Dragon's Breath. I might take away most of that damn horde. Tristan, again, go do that spell that I was telling you to do on her. I'm trying to remove those negative levels on her. Restores 2 temporary negative levels. They're gone. Okay, she's back to being normal. God. Skeletor's doing work still. That guy straight up sucking it. I'm kind of not liking the elemental. Dorraj's turn. Okay, so now here's the spell. So we want to try to use... I can use the acid one, but the downside of that is this, if I hit any of my skeletons, they're definitely taking damage. I can still beam quite a few of these pricks, though, and leave most of my skeletons, I think, alone. So that's not the worst idea ever. But I also have this Dragon's Breath, and again, I know that they're immune to cold. So I can catch most of these jackasses. Look at this mess. I'm just missing this guy, and these ones way out of here, out of range. So again, I'm getting more with this than I was with the other one. So I say do it. The immune was my guys, by the way. So that was solid damage there. And I'm okay stepping up to this. Eliza can help out with her auto hit moves. Boom. Just melted them. Peppers is doing work again. These guys finally have a way to get through. So, Reg, why don't you just magic missile this fool back here? Thanks, bro. Proto.
Let's hear you cry.
Okay, and Jubilos. Let's move up here, kiddo.
Will they
Fire on that
ever
fool.
learn?
Alright, Doggo's down. Christian, can you help finish this fool off?
Repent!
Sadly, no, you can't do enough damage to it. It's okay. Skeletons are still holding that line. Hey, you finally did something. Good lord, he was terrible for damage. How much damage? 9 damage. This is a big-ass bastard. That's the best we got is 9 damage, huh? Okay. And again, we got a big cluster pile of these dudes here. And again, I have another cold spell here. I see no reason not to share it. Guys are about dead now. The random little fodder that's over here will come over here and get their attention. The skeletons will start charging, so will Doggo. Holding that line pretty steady. And again, I don't mind using his magic missile, low level spell to just start a volley off to get their attention. Proto can't reach anybody, so we're just gonna have her straight run the hell up here. She'll only get like 1 shot off, but that's okay. Same with Juby, we're gonna have him charge his happy ass all the way up here. Or not. Shoot this.
Fine use of my talents.
1 damage, good job. Tristan, get up here, please. Now he, on the other hand, he does have talents, but he doesn't have the ability to hit more than a couple this way right now. If I move him the tiniest bit more, can I get all of them? Possibly. Oh no, that was sexiness right there. Down to like the last two is what it looks like. Good job, team. Of course, Mr. Spastic Monkey here don't know what the hell to do with himself. Liza. Oh, it's Dora's turn. Dora can come up here. And... you know what? I'm just going to end my turn right there. Eliza, you set this fool on fire.
Do not hold back.
Alright, Reg, can you charge these fool over here? No. But you might be able to just straight up get there.
I'll cut you.
Proto. Sneak attack
Out
that
of
fool.
my way!
Yeah. There we go, team. Not bad, a little messy, but not bad for the room and the size of the mess that we had to deal with. I'd say we did pretty damn well. Now we have, of course, treasure here. We'll walk around the room, just give a quick once-over, make sure we're not missing something. But there's not much here. However, having said that, there is multiple paths, and I want to show you those paths here real quick too. I'm taking that. Oh, when they bring camping supplies, that comes in super handy.
Follow if you dare.
Definitely want to disarm the trap.
Done.
Definitely want to not click that damn thing just yet.
I do what I must.
We're not done exploring the room. I don't like opening up traps and possible clicky things until I know for sure that we need it. Doing good on money.
Interesting.
I win treasure.
Done.
Hell yeah, give me that treasure. See, the stone panel depicts the imprisonment and burial of Mordecai, performed by 3 Cyclopes who hold lanterns in their hands. Sounds like the Cyclopes were kind of pissed at him.
I'm there.
More treasure.
Got
Now,
it.
I happen to know that Mordecai is down here. Okay?
In due time.
There's going to be a fight, I think, before there,
There's
though.
something here.
There's going to be a fight before here, I think. There's supposed to be like a Cyclops or 2 or 7.
Done.
I'll kick her ass. But notice that we have a clicky
Patent.
here, as well as one back in that other room, right?
Done.
So I don't know which does which. I would assume that one works for that door. Tristan, though, would like to have a word with us. Tristan voice drops as if he's afraid of being overheard. The heart of the tomb, Mordecai, is close now. What makes you think so? Have you been here before? What? No, of course not. But like all who follow Sarenrae, Tristan shivers, then winces as if in pain. I can feel the evil in this place. Thick like the stench of rot and decay. There's something you're not telling me? I have shared all I can, Tristan smiles warily. Each of us has secrets and burdens we must carry alone, for the weight is not lessened in sharing them. So are your secrets yours to keep and share as you decide. Are you ready? What lies ahead may be the end of us. Tristan is still for a moment, then nods. Yes, I am ready, even if it means the end of us. Let's go. Well, no, maybe the end of you. I plan on living through this bullshit. So, we're going to come down here first. Remember, we have the clicky there, but also we have a doorway down here that we never explored. And this is the fun part to be in. This is going to be a nasty fight. Oh my god, I leveled up and I didn't even notice. Level 16, bitches. This means level 6 spells for me. Notice I also get Counter-Strike. At 16th level, whenever an enemy within reach of the Magus successfully casts a spell defensively. Basically, they're casting a spell while they're standing near me. That enemy provokes an attack of opportunity from the Magus after the spell is complete. So they'll get to cast their spell, and then I poke them in the face, which is freaking awesome. Allows me to do stuff like teleport right next to the wizards and casters of the team, of the bad guys. And when they start casting their spells, poke. It's just super fun. But again, I love the fact that I'm now level 16 and now level 6 spells are mine to be had. Now remember, we're all about intelligence. Intelligence every level. So I'll finish here at a 32 and then I'll have even better gear than what I have right now. So I have the +8 helmet on, right? So show it to me. +8 Hat of Mental Perfection, awesome. And then I'll get Bakken's Potion, that's a +2, and then I'll get a Ring of Circumstances, that's another +2. So I'm gonna have a really lot of intelligence still added to this character. Oops, no. I want to get this stuff up. That's obviously our high priority items. So I'm really good at traps and trickery. Athletics is amazing for me. The knowledges are all about me. And I'm not even the best person on the team for some of these things, by the way. Looks like I am right now. But I know there's people back home in the other base that do a respectable arcana, respectable knowledge world. Like Lindsay, for instance, because of all her bardic shit. She gets buffs like crazy on some of those things. That makes her competitive. Now that I've done everything I wanted to do, it's either mobility, I don't need it, stealth, I don't really need it, or use magic device, why the hell not? Level 6 spells, and I even have some, so hide those other levels. This is what I have going for me here. I have Chain Lightning already, Disintegrate, Acid Fog, solid staples. Look at the other list that I have here. You can ignore all the buff spells, in my opinion. Same with beast shape spells, because they only work on you, and remember, unless I'm holding my sword, I lose all my kick-ass buffs for being a sword saint. So turning into stuff is not my cup of tea, which is a shame because Dragonkind 1 is right here, baby, and it's a solid spell. This is the ability that Rigongar has free of charge as a spell-like ability. Look at that buff. +4 size bonus to his strength. +2 size bonus to his constitution. Actually, they're not size bonuses. I think they call them polymorph bonuses. But it's the same difference. It's stacked with his enhancements is my point. +4 natural armor bonus, and that stacks with all of his natural armor that he has for being both a Draconic Disciple, or Dragon Disciple, as well as a Draconic Bloodline. And wearing the necklace and all that shit. So he has really, really nice armor as a result of this, and he's immune to difficult terrain because of his wings. He gets a breath weapon, which of course, since he has to pick a blue dragon, he's electric. He gets a better movement, and he gets all these different attacks. So a bite, 2 claws, and 2 wing attacks. So you get 5 attacks in a combat round now. Just mauling shit, which is awesome. And you get resistance to the damage, like resistance 20, I want to say, to whatever damage type the dragon is. So again, electric dragons, so electric resistance. So again, I can turn into any dragon with this spell, or any type. So I can be like a gold one, or red dragon. So basically all your typical 5 chromatics, and 5 or more of the elemental ones. The metallic ones. So gold, silver, copper, bronze, brass are all in there. So again, it's a decent spell. I'm not my cup of tea. Same with elemental body. Again, I don't get to keep my sword in my hand. It doesn't do me a whole lot of good. And by the way, people will be like, well, you know, you could do Sword Saint where you do unarmed strikes, improved unarmed strikes like a monk. Yes, but none of the beast shapes count as unarmed. They count as claw attacks or bite attacks, and we don't have that ability. See the problem? Same with Dragonkind. All that abilities that he's smacking them down with, those are not unarmed strikes. Those are claw attacks, bite attacks. Those are a wing attack, or a tail slap is another one. Elemental body kind of does it. And let me rephrase on this one. So you turn into one of the elemental forms. So you got the air one where you're basically like a big tornado looking bastard. You have the fire one, which you just saw the fire elemental. It's the same type of form. And then you have earth form, and then which is big rock golem looking bastard with a wheel for feet. And then a water form. It's a big swirly water bastard. They all look like they have hands, so they all look like they would do unarmed strikes. The only one I think out of the entire list that does an unarmed attack is the earth form, which is again a valid option then for a sword saint who is using improved unarmed strikes and weapon focus in unarmed strikes to attack. If he turns into the earth form, he's still using his fists. So technically speaking, you should get all your buffs. But that's the only form that gets that shit, and he only gets like 1 attack, maybe 2 a round. That's it. So you lose a lot to get some solid strength and some, I think, con. So you get some constitution, you get some armor, I know that. And that's about it. Maybe you get like some resistance to acid, I can't remember. But that's about all you get. And that's it, man. So it's really not the best idea for a sword saint. Transformation, on the other hand, is an amazing spell. And again, it allows you to keep your weapon in your hand. Bonuses to strength, dex, and con, which again, once we have the best belt, that'll be null and void. But you do get a natural armor bonus upgrade, so I don't have to wear that necklace of natural armor or have barkskin cast on myself. This will be a +4. Poof. That's not the best, but it's better than 0. and a nice bonus to your fortitude checks as well. Notice that that's a competence bonus. That means the Cloak of Resistance, +5 or +2 or plus whatever you have, stacks with it because those are resistance bonuses. So that will actually add to your fortitude checks. Very, very nice. Or fortitude saves. Notice that, again, proficiency in simple martial weapons, who cares? You can only use the weapon that you use really anyway. So that's not really adding a whole lot. Maybe, I guess, you could put something in your offhand weapon, in your offhand. So there's that. So I can have like a longsword and a kukri in the other hand. So there's something there. But again, it's not something you're probably going to rely on. It doesn't last very long either, 1 round per caster level. But the best part of this is this. Your base attack bonus now equals your character level. So I'm character level 16. My BAB is not 16, but it will be if I cast a spell on me. Downside of this one, you can't cast spells in the effect. So this is your last ditch effort to be a badass. But I have used this to great effect on Elder Scions and Sword Saints, specifically because, well, I'm out of spells, I'm down to 1, it's transformation, baby, time to Ginsu Chef it. Pop on transformation and pull out double wielding weapons and just wah-yah, up into combat. And you're a badass. You're just a whirligig of ass whoop. And if you're smart, you would save honestly 3 spells at the end. 1 would be haste. Transformation would be the second, but cast last. The third one, if you have access to it, is kind of a maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you do, you definitely want to cast it too. And again, cast it before casting transformation, because again, you can't cast spells in this form. So the 3 that I try to save for the end is haste, for obvious reasons, transformation, for obvious reasons, and then the third one that you'll cast at the second will be heroism, or if you can muster it, greater heroism. Why? +4 to your swing, baby. +4 to your saves. Just an amazing buff, and you get like 10 hit points if you do the greater heroism one. So all pluses, no minuses. Those are 3 solid spell upgrades for your character, and you will shred shit. So, go to town. But transformation is making the cut. More than that, though, it's this little bastard. Now, if I was a Ray caster, I'd be getting Hellfire Ray. But again, I already have Disintegrate. It's great all on its own. Hellfire Ray is better, and I am an Evoker, so I will get all of these things. So don't trip. But Umbral Strike is a decent spell, especially for a Necromancer. Again, we have one of those, and she'll be using that in her list. True Seeing is an awesome spell, as you know. There's plenty of good stuff in here. Greater Dispel Magic, I'll grab it. I don't care about it, but I will have it in my book. I'll have all these other ones that I'm never going to use too, but I'll grab them. This doesn't do me any good once I get the belt, and the belt on the rest of the team, the ones that are +4 or greater for strength, dex, and con. Why would I need to have this spell? Well, you have pets, right? You have skeletons you summon, and I don't know that this doesn't buff them. If they're in the AoE when it happens, poof, +4 to all their strength, +4 to all their dex, +4 to all their con, whichever one I'm casting, obviously. That's a big increase for everybody's pets. Just saying. So there's reasons to want it. I just don't care about it on this build as much. The only one on this list, quite frankly, that is kind of a who gives a shit is this one. Stone to Flesh. Just get it in scroll form and keep it in your kitty. Maybe I'll scribe it just so I have it officially, but if people are getting turned to stone, chances are you're scum saving and saying, F that shit, and go back to an earlier save. So this is the only one that's kind of lackluster, in my opinion. If this spell was, restores petrified creatures, obviously turn to stone creatures back to normal. If this also worked on, say, paralyzed creatures, like hold person, hold monster kind of shit, I'd say grab it, because then at least you have a use for it. Otherwise, no. You're going to probably go to an earlier scum save and say, I'm not dealing with that shit. So, Sirocco, on the other hand, AoE crowd control, yeah, that's a monster. Between that and Acid Fog, a 1-2 slap down of just screw you in a room and just stand there, watch them all burn and then sizzle with acid and fall down because of the Sirocco moves. You just stand there and watch it, just, sipping your coffee and watching the bad guys melt. That shit's just funny. Just to show you, though, quickly before we finish this off, just how many I have left in these other levels. We only have one level 5 spell still to pick, and again, it's one I don't care about. Level 4 has stuff, but again, ones I don't care about. Level 3 has none. Level 2 has Effortless Armor. Again, I don't care about it. It's a personal effect. I don't wear armor. I'll never need that spell. Level 1, we got every last one of them. So we have damn near everything we really need. It really is limited down to just pick what you need. And when I run out of stuff that I definitely must have, that's when I'll start grabbing the stuff that I could care less about. Just to be the completionist that I am, to have the book finished. But that's awesome. That's amazing. And of course, we have to check spellbook, man. Come on now. So now, what do we grab? Well, notice we have acidic spray, and it's awesome. First thing we should do is check to make sure that I didn't do something crazy, like give myself a meta magic bonus. Remember, this is 6 plus 1, but some spells have a 6 plus 1 minus 1. Remember, so I need to check it. I can't cast level 7, so there's no point in doing this one. How about disintegrate? Did I do it for that one? Nope. How about Sirocco? Did I weirdly do it for that one? Also nope. So none of these spells are ones that I've given the ability to go back one. Chances are it was the Dragon's Breath. Yeah. You can only do 2 of these, as far as I know, with traits. So the one I did was obviously Shocking Grasp, for obvious reasons. I mean, it's a butter move, man. You just buff up, and again, I have the most level 1 spells of my list is going to be level 1. So I might as well have as many of these intensified Shocking Grasp as possible. Other than that, then the next obvious choice to me was Dragon's Breath. It's an amazing spell, multi-use, 4 different types of elemental damage, and again, I have beams and I have cones, so it just depends on what I need for the occasion, and that's 17d6 of damage eventually. Right now it will be 17d6, and that's awesome. The only other ones that could be honorable mentions to me, Acidic Spray, Cone of Cold, Fire Snake are all staples. And again, 15d6 of damage for each of these, turning into 20d6 of damage by it being intensified, could be awesome. But again, I can still cast them at level 6. See, here it is right here. And I really should have done this. Just to show it to you, how to make these. So again, here they are at level 5. Here they are now, all 3 of them at level 6. 20d6 of damage, 20d6 of damage, 20d6 of damage. Now, having said that, how does that compare for other level 6 spells? Here's 20d6 of damage. It's already there. Again, electric, acid, fire, cold. I have all 4 categories covered now at level 6. I can't cast them all at the same time. Again, I have limited spells per day at level 6, but I have the option. Another one that could have made an honorable mention, again, Chain Lightning, like I said, could have been where I did this. And instead of it being a level 7 spell, let's just make it to show it to you. Instead of it being level 7, it could have been level 6 and intensified. Why would that have been good? 20 is the highest level we can get in Brother Mutant. It says right there, maximum 20d6. But remember what intensified does. If you have higher caster level than 20, and there's a way around that, I'll show you that in a minute, you can cast this better than 20d6 of damage. What's the best case scenario? The best I've hit on this one with testing, I've been able to cast this as a level 6 spell, using that meta magic trick, and I was able to get, at the end of the build, much closer to the end of the build, so literally when I'm level 20, I was able to get, I want to say 28d6 of damage. Yes, you heard that correctly. Not 24, not 22, 23, which again is still pretty impressive since you're only caster level 20. How do you get to 28d6? Well, here's how you do it. First, you need Mage Tattoo for evocation. I have that. That's a +1 to caster level spells of all your evocation spells. So at level 20, I would technically be able to cast this at level 21. Then you get Spell Specialization. Okay, that's where you literally take one evocation spell at every level, once you finally pick this feat, and say, this is my fancy spell. This is the one that I'm casting at 2 levels higher than normal. Okay, that's Spell Specialization. That's what that does. Okay, so now look at what you just did. So again, at level 20, if this is your pick for Spell Specialization, you have Mage Tattoo and Spell Specialization. That's 3 extra levels that you get to tack onto that bastard. That's a 23 caster level spell right now. Now, if you have Spell Perfection, and this is a feat that you do not have in the vanilla version of the game. That's why you need to pay attention to this part. If you have Spell Perfection, you get to pick 1 spell and 1 spell only, and only get to pick it once. So, unlike Spell Specialization, where you get to choose at every level. That's why I mentioned that. But you get to pick it once, and this will be the one, in my opinion, that you would specialize in too. Spell Perfection allows you to do a lot of shit. It allows you to take any meta magic and add it to the spell, and it doesn't matter how many levels it would have added, so long as you can make a level 9 spell of it or less. That's important. Level 9 or less, you can add that meta magic to it, and it doesn't cost a damn thing. So now take this spell as for instance. It's a level 6 spell. What meta magics could I add to it? Well, obviously intensified. But again, I have a way to take that from 7 to 6 already down. So I don't need spell perfection for that. What else could you add? How about you empower that shit? That's 50% more damage. Remember I just said 28d6? Now it's 28d6 times 1.5. So technically speaking, that's like it's saying you added another 14d6 of damage to that shit. So that's 42d6 of damage AoE zipping around everybody. See how cool that is? And that's spell perfection. Now how do you get spell perfection? Because I'm not going to get it on this build or any of my other guys right now. It's too much of an investment for me to want that. But I could see the fun of that. So what does spell perfection require? Well, here's the problem with spell perfection. Not only do you need a spell focus in something, which we are going to do anyway, like evocation. And again, it allows you to get your mage tattoo in evocation too. So you're going to grab that shit anyway. But you need your spell focus, and I believe you need 3 meta magics. Well, we're going to get intensified. Okay, that's 1. What are your other 2, though? You see the problem? Well, okay, you could do that. And again, I would grab Empowered. I'd probably grab either Quicken or Maximize. And normally I'd say, well, you always tell us don't get Quicken because Quicken adds 4 levels to it. Yes, it does, and that straight up sucks. However, for that spell specialization, spell perfection, remember, you can add any one meta magic to a spell, and it doesn't add extra levels to it. So you could cast a level 5 spell, like say Cone of Cold. If it's your spell perfection, Cone of Cold, let's say Cold's your thing. You could add Quicken to this. 5 plus 4, because that's what Quicken would add, makes it level 9. But remember, because you have spell perfection for Cone of Cold, that 4 goes away. So yes, it would be a level 9 casting originally, but because of spell perfection, it drops back down to 5. That's pretty kick-ass. But again, I would honestly not do it for that. I'd probably get spell perfection in something again like Dragon's Breath. Why? Because I can add 4 and 4 from Quicken, and again an intensified in there. That's level 9 casting. And if this has got the -1 to it, like I've done here, where again it's level 4 plus the intensified plus 1, and then another -1 again because of my meta magic training, I can make it a level 4 spell again, which is what I've done here. I could cast this as a level 4 intensified spell that's quickened. Poof. Instant cast. Not swift, not standard action, which is what you're seeing here. Not a full round. Instantaneous fly off my hand, which means what? I can do 2 of them back to back in a combat round. Just attack and attack. And then because I'm a Magus, I can swing with my weapon if I'm up and in their face anyway. That's potent. That's an amazing amount of screw you to a target. So spell perfection can be fun. It's just a lot of investment to get it there. But again, like I said, Chain Lightning could have been cool because you could have had a maximized version of that. That was intensified, and it'd be spell perfection as well. So again, what does that mean? Remember, I told you I can do, where did it go? I could do, instead of 20d6 on this bastard, I think the best case scenario I saw was spell perfection was 28d6 of damage. Okay. Now imagine if that was guaranteed maximum damage. I can do that with spell perfection, and it'd still be a level 6 spell. I could have this be empowered, so instead of, again, 28d6, it could be another 14 added to it. Again, that could be a 42d6 of damage. Yes, that means I could hit all ones and hit 42 damage. But still, it's going around in a big hogging circle. But again, if it was 28d6 and maximized, what would that actually be? Well, what's 28 times 6? That's the number that you'd be shooting out, guaranteed, from your favorite quote-unquote spell. That's why it's a perfect spell. It's your spell perfection. This is your staple. This is what you're known for, if you want to think of it that way. And again, there's other ones that are cool. Disintegrate could be fun. It's single target, but that's 40d6. And if I can get this one to 28d6 by it being perfect, then I'm betting I can get this way above 40d6 by being a transmuter that specializes and perfects on this spell. That could be 40d6. That could be somewhere in the 50s or 60s d6 damage hitting a target. Now the downside of this one is they make their check, it falls right back to 5 d6 of damage. That sucks. But again, if I were going that route, I would make sure to have spell focus transmutation, greater spell focus transmutation, any gear that gives me a higher DC to transmutation, any feats or traits that give me a bonus to the DC of this spell check. Because this is my bread and butter. This is the guy that I'm going to focus my attention on. so that it really is going to hit for the 40d6 more often than not. And you can screw a dude over with this spell. Just massive damage. Just fun. And have a meta magic rod. Again, I don't have to use maximize meta magic on this thing. I can use a maximized meta magic rod 3 times a day. I can fire off of this spell, poof, and do full damage, guaranteed. So imagine that 40d6. Let's just say I can get it to 50d6 just to round it up. That's maximized. That's 300 damage if it hits the mark, and that doesn't even count sneak attack. So you can see how I'm saying you can have a lot of fun with the mods that I have here to do stuff that the developers didn't intend. That's why it's mods. But for pen and paper, it is a viable option because it is in pen and paper. I'm just saying, pretty damn sweet when you got some of that stuff. I'm just doing a quick one silver. Yeah, I knew I picked up something heavy. So, what was I going to pick for my spells? I got those ones. Alright. Looks like we're done. So, now we're coming down here. Quick save that, because we're done with our leveling up. I have taken damage.
I'm listening.
And while it's only one person, because it's only one person, I'll have Jubilost heal her with a potion. Okay, remember he has the ability to pour down your throat and you get a way better buff from it. Take a staple like this lame ass shit. Cure light wounds, that's not going to be enough. We're going to grab a cure moderate as well. Let's take a look at that cure light wounds. For anyone but Jubilost, them drinking this potion would be 1d6, I think, or 1d8 of damage plus 1. Because it's caster level 1. But because it's Juby, he's able to use it at 1d8 plus 5. Because that's his caster level is above plus 5. So it caps out. But he gets that bonus because he has enhanced potion. So again, it's a minimum now of 6. Maximum of 13. She actually got the maximum by pure dumb luck. And that's a cheap ass potion. Now let's do the big one. This one again is 2d8. But again, caster level of the potion is 3. So for them it'd be 2d8 plus 3. So minimum of 5, maximum of 19. Jubilost is over level 10. Because he's the one doing it, he gets that plus 10 bonus. So it's a minimum now of 12. Not a minimum of 5, 12. And a maximum of 26. She's topped off with 2 cheap-ass spells. Hell, I even have a little damage to me.
My skills
Let's
are
actually
getting
have him
rusty.
do that again for me, but just with the cheap-ass potion. And I'll either be topped off or be so close to it I won't worry. Yeah, I'm fine with being 10 under. That's not that bad. Now here is a fun place. First, notice we got shrooms. Not that we care, but it's there, light it up. Might as well grab it. Notice there's an athletics check. Clearly save that shit before you do this, because you don't want to hurt yourself.
Think again before you ask the impossible.
Wow. Failed the check. Reg, you suck. I could make sure he passes the check. Watch this. He doesn't have a pair of gloves on, I don't think. And I have a pair of gloves that give an athletics bonus, so I want to say of plus 5. Lower than I thought it would. Where's those gloves at? Athlete's gloves. Oh, it's plus 3, excuse me. But that's a solid upgrade for him. Now watch this. We'll do it again. Quick save now that he's got the gloves on.
Easy murder.
Now watch this. Trishan hates this area. And that's your clue that this is bad shit here. But you want to stay, and I'll show you why in a minute. Let's leave this place now. Trishan is silent for a moment, and we should collapse the entrance so no one ever. Why? This chamber, Trishan looks at you but doesn't seem to see you. His eyes normally calm and troubled. It is the heart of the evil that fills this whole tomb. Everything here bears traces of the ones Mordecai worshipped. I beg you, let us leave this place. I don't want you to suffer Mordecai's fate, you or anyone else. The powers of darkness are strong here. They can corrupt even the strongest of hearts. Screw that. I want to examine this part of Sepulchre, Tristan. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Quick save now that you're down in here. First things first. Notice the floor design. Very limited. And there's really nothing here except for the statue and like something to click here. So we got to sprinkle the blood thing again. Want to loot that, of course.